game that he's sticking with you going forward? Not that he shouldn't, it's just that at 2-7 sometimes things change.
Yep.
But he's sticking with you. How do you feel about the opportunity to build on, what you did today and move forward?
Yeah, when things aren't going well, there's always going to be change. That's part of it, because if you keep doing the same thing and don't change anything, then it's insanity. But just I feel like at times there's things that went well and we sustained and executed, and then
Daryl Ryder yesterday said, Kevin, what progress have you seen from Dillon Gabriel? What areas have you seen drastic improvement? Okay, this is an opportunity for your head coach to go ahead and highlight some things about your rookie quarterback that you insist upon shoving down our freaking throats, and tell us what you see from Dillon Gabriel that you take away as a positive. Because we don't see it, obviously. That's why Daryl's asking this question. We don't see it. We don't see the improvement. We don't see the positives for Dillon Gabriel. So what are they? And here's how Kevin answered, or, rather did not answer that.
Something happened in his football career that nobody saw coming, and it's wild enough to make even veteran coaches lose their cool. This situation had coaches nervous, players looking around like they missed a group chat, and fans acting like the sky was falling. The move came out of nowhere. It felt chaotic, and people were honestly asking if it was some kind of joke gone too far. Whatever you thought could never happen in football, it just happened, and the fallout is already shaking the whole city. If you're enjoying, please subscribe to the channel. It really helps the channel grow. It all started with one small question at a press conference, a harmless little lob that somehow turned the entire Browns building into a full-blown drama series.
Gabriel, and I'm sorry, Dillon, you cannot play NFL football. This is like the AI Atlas. We've never seen it before. And after the game, for the Browns to just say, not even arbitrarily, they're saying it like it's the mantra of the team that Dillon Gabriel's playing again next week. Such a great exercise in incompetence that we should study this in some type of anthropology class at the highest level of educational institution in this country.
A reporter casually asks if anyone has considered the idea of Shedeur Sanders stepping in. Just a tiny question, nothing wild, basically the interview version of a friendly pat on the back. And Dillon Gabriel's whole face transformed instantly. 1 second he was in full media mode, and the next, he looked like someone told him they changed the locker room password and he'd never get it again. The man froze like someone unplugged him during a software update. And remember, this wasn't a normal week. This wasn't a normal loss. This was a loss to the Jets. The Jets, a team that somehow beat Cleveland while barely putting together a triple-digit yard day, which should honestly be impossible with modern professional athletes. They put up 169 total yards and strutted off like they reinvented the sport.
Did anybody hear in that word salad of bullshit one thing that he can point out that Dillon Gabriel has improved upon or is doing well? Nope, I didn't hear it either. It's not there. He had nothing. He didn't have an answer. It speaks volumes that you can't point out one single thing that your rookie quarterback, that you handpicked, that you designated for first team reps and opportunities from day one of minicamp after he was drafted. All this time, 5 starts in the NFL. Most starts ever in college football.
Cleveland had more talent, more weapons, more chances, and still played like someone swapped out their playbook for step-by-step furniture directions from a Swedish warehouse. Fans were still trying to process how the Jets won with 42 passing yards. Yes, 42. That's the amount toddlers accidentally get in a video game on the lowest difficulty. And right when people were scratching their heads, the whispers started. Except they weren't whispers at all. It felt like someone plugged the rumor mill into a stadium speaker and aimed it straight towards Stefanski's office. Word started spreading about a former Browns CEO, someone with major influence and way too much time on their hands, who'd finally reached his breaking point. No more checkdowns, no more panic sacks, no more "we didn't execute" speeches, and no more watching Myles Garrett bury a quarterback only for the offense to walk out and punt 3 plays later. This ex-CEO supposedly stormed into conversations, meetings, maybe even into the lunch area, demanding one thing.
I have never seen an incompetent coach, an incompetent quarterback united at the hip with no end in sight. And I want to be clear. I'm saying this without mentioning the name Shedeur Sanders, because it ain't got nothing to do with him. He doesn't even have to be on this roster for this to be one of the dumbest decisions in the history of the NFL.
Bench Dillon Gabriel and start Shedeur Sanders. No, think about it. No, we'll watch the film. No evaluating anything. Just a straight-up order delivered like a parent who came home early and saw a report card they didn't sign off on. The vibe was basically, replace him now. You'd think Stefanski would at least acknowledge the situation with something real. Maybe saying 6 sacks is too much. Maybe admitting completing half your throws isn't ideal, or mentioning that losing to an offense running on fumes is a concern. But instead, he walks into the press conference, confidently says he didn't even watch the tape yet, and announces, Dillon is still the starter after the bye. Bold move, Kevin. Meanwhile, Myles Garrett is on the sideline looking like a man questioning every life decision he ever made. 5 sacks, and they still lost. That's the kind of moment that makes a defensive star start wondering about fate, physics, and why the offense keeps making the game so complicated.
This is Mary Kay Cabot from Cleveland.com after the Browns' 27-20 loss to the New York Jets, who had only one victory coming into this game, that being against the Cincinnati Bengals before their bye week. It's really quite shocking that they came in here and lost to this football team that basically conducted a fire sale during their bye week, trading away their 2 best defensive players. The opportunity was there to come in here for the Cleveland Browns to seize the moment and win this football game, but they gave up 2 kick returns.
Then it happens. The moment everyone remembers. A reporter with enough bravery to fill a stadium asks Dillon if he ever thinks about when the team might turn things over to Shedeur Sanders. The entire room goes silent like the building lost internet. Dillon blinks, takes this long breath, and instead of showing confidence or fire or anything a leader usually shows, he delivers the line that every coach hates hearing. All I can do is control what I can control. Translation? Yeah, I know what's coming. Please don't make me say it on camera. That's the sound of someone who quietly packed half their locker already, just in case. But this was only the warm-up. The real fireworks were happening behind the scenes. Picture this, a former Browns CEO, someone strong enough to shake the entire organization. But with no HR rules holding him back now, sitting in front of ownership with a whole PowerPoint titled, Why Dillon Gabriel Must Be Removed Immediately. He's reportedly pulling up Colorado highlights, replaying throws frame by frame, circling reads, pointing out confidence traits, pocket control, and clutch ability, while Dillon's film looks like a deleted comedy scene. This whole situation isn't just about football anymore. It's about ticket sales, merch flying off shelves, headline buzz, and that spark Cleveland hasn't consistently felt since the city became the punchline to every job joke. The name Shedeur Sanders alone brings crowds, excitement, and cameras.
He would have been played Shedeur. Brian Daboll was like, you know what? I might lose my job. Here, Jackson Dart. Like, if you think you're going to lose your job, you do move off of the Cats. So Shedeur Sanders is Kevin Stefanski's ace in the hole. The reason Stefanski's not playing Shedeur in my mind is because his job is safe. James, I look at it like this. Jimmy Haslam, Kevin Stefanski, they're on one accord. Andrew Berry, general manager, he views it differently. I think Andrew Berry, the general manager, he wants Shedeur.
Meanwhile, Dillon Gabriel's name right now makes people feel concerned. Imagine trying to hype season tickets with, come witness the magic of 167 passing yards and 6 sacks. That's not exactly billboard material. Shedeur, on the other hand, pulls in fans, sponsors, hype videos, and even people who only watch Colorado games so they could post endless updates about him. Cleveland needs that electricity so badly. They need something with energy, something with fire, something that isn't sadness wrapped in a jersey. Back at the press conference, someone asked Dillon about getting sacked 6 times, and his answer is basically, yeah, I don't want to take those. Incredible insight. Groundbreaking strategy. Truly game-changing football wisdom. Of course, no quarterback wants to take 6 sacks. Nobody wakes up thinking, today feels like a good day to get slammed into the turf over and over again. The issue is simple. Real franchise quarterbacks don't just not want to take sacks. They avoid them.
Should have never been a top 100 draft pick. Like, we can start there. He should have never been a 100 draft pick. There is nothing about his physical makeup, his college tape, anything that warrants being a top 100 draft pick. They did it. They made the decision.
Time I go on the internet, all I see is a bunch of dudes sitting around going, why are you not playing Shedeur and why are you about it? Like they're playing the soundbite. He won't even say his name. He won't even say his name. What is that?
They move, they improvise, they climb the pocket, they escape trouble, they create something out of nothing. They do literally anything besides standing still while danger closes in like bad news. Shedeur Sanders, meanwhile, has spent entire seasons slipping out of collapsing pockets like he's sponsored by chaos itself. At Colorado, half the time he was playing behind a line that looked like a rotating group of construction cones. And he still launched perfect throws like a t-shirt cannon that couldn't miss. And when Dillon starts using lines like, "You don't want to plant a seed and rip it up before it grows," that's exactly the kind of thing you say when you're begging the organization not to replace you with a player who trends on social media every time he breathes. It's the sound of a man trying to delay the inevitable. Let's be real, Cleveland didn't bring in Dillon Gabriel expecting some long-term superstar. He was supposed to be a bridge quarterback, a stable placeholder, the guy keeping things steady until the real franchise piece arrived. But instead of keeping the ship steady, he's accidentally drilling holes in the bottom while the Jets paddle past, waving like they're on vacation. And the ex-CEO? He's not wrong. He sees exactly what everybody sees. Shedeur Sanders has leadership, charisma, and that cold clutch gene that flips entire seasons around.
And do you find yourself at all, I mean, are you staying focused at the task at hand, or do you find yourself ever looking over your shoulder and wondering, when are they going to turn this thing over to Shedeur? Does that ever cross your mind?
No, all I can do is control what I can. And, yeah.
Dillon, meanwhile, looks like someone wondering if he left the oven on back home. Shedeur brings something else too, fearlessness. When things get messy, he doesn't run from it. He steps into it. He almost seems energized by pressure, like he's challenging it to hit harder. Shedeur Sanders thrives in the exact situations where Dillon Gabriel slowly fades away. Dillon's press conference didn't sound like a starting quarterback. It sounded like someone explaining a spreadsheet mistake to their supervisor. He gave out more safe corporate-style lines in 10 minutes than some CEOs given an entire earnings call. "We'll execute better. We'll keep working. Momentum and rhythm. Control what I can control." Every answer felt like he was reading straight from a laminated handbook. And the way he stared at the microphone was wild, like it owed him money. Instead of taking command or showing the spark a leader brings, he kept breaking down who missed what, who should have stepped up, and why the rhythm wasn't there. It sounded like he was trying to fix the whole organization by himself, even though the team needed someone who could lift them, not lecture them. Players aren't clueless. They can feel when the quarterback is slowing the team down. Myles Garrett nearly shattered a franchise record and still walked off looking like someone just ran off with his wallet. Do you really think he's excited about losing games because the offense can't make a single clutch play when it matters?
Training camp that you knew that seeing both young quarterbacks at some point this season was important. So just where is Shedeur at as far as his development, and do you have a timetable of when you would take a look at him?
Yeah, I don't think it's fair to speculate, Daryl. We're committed to getting better as an offense. Dillon is certainly committing to improving every which way he can.
The defense is out there grinding every snap while the offense walks around collecting participation ribbons. Every snap while the offense walks around collecting participation ribbons. Ownership has to be watching all of this with a mix of shock and disappointment, and the whispers about phone calls after the Jets game feel completely believable. That loss was a breaking point, almost like a wake-up call for the entire organization. When you lose to a team that struggles to even generate passing yards, something big is wrong. That's why the ex-CEO suddenly has everyone's attention. This time, people are listening. He's not speaking emotionally, he's bringing stats, film, and hard facts showing the Browns are wasting valuable time hoping Dillon magically becomes someone he's not. Stefanski is backed into a corner too. If he benches Dillon now, he admits he misread the situation. He'd be admitting he misjudged the talent and that his quarterback evaluation strategy looks more like throwing darts than actual scouting. And that brings everything right back to Shedeur Sanders. The entire debate comes down to one simple thing. Shedeur makes more happen with less, while Dillon produces less even when he has more. Imagine Shedeur in that Jets matchup. He's not taking 6 sacks. He's not staring around confused. He's not freezing under pressure. He's improvising, delivering plays, and lifting everyone around him. Not many quarterbacks can turn a winnable game into a full-blown disaster the way Dillon Gabriel just did. And honestly, it's impressive in a tragic way. And according to that ex-CEO who's been rattling the building, champions don't settle for quarterbacks who can't beat the Jets. It's harsh, but it's also the kind of honesty Cleveland desperately needs right now. The next few weeks are going to shape the entire future of this franchise.
Keep on putting Dillon Gabriel out there, and the offense does the same exact thing every single week. Yeah. Nothing changes. Yeah. He has 1 good quarter a week, and he has 2 good throws a game. Nothing changes. It doesn't. Put Shedeur out there and see what Shedeur does. If anything, like we just talked about Brian Daboll, if Shedeur comes out there and he balls out and he plays lights out, you might not get fired in a couple weeks neither. Mm-hmm. If you keep on throwing Dillon Gabriel out there,
you're going to get fired in a couple weeks.
Either Cleveland finally accepts reality and makes the bold move, or they keep riding the Dillon train straight into more losses, more exhaustion, more frustration, and more press conferences filled with soft answers and strange metaphors that make everyone forget what the question even was. Fans deserve better. Players deserve better. The organization deserves better. And Shedeur Sanders, he might actually be that better. He might be the spark, the shift, the storyline that flips the whole script. Because one thing is absolutely clear, Dillon Gabriel isn't the long-term answer. And at this point, he's barely the short-term answer. And unless Stefanski wants his face on a farewell billboard downtown, he might want to start listening to the voice echoing through every hallway in that building. That voice from the former CEO who basically kicked the door open, pointed at the depth chart, and said what everybody else was too nervous to admit. Start Shedeur Sanders.
As fair of an opportunity that I can give Dillon Gabriel, I'm giving you 2 weeks against a bad defense, a team that just blew up their team, a team that has 1 win on the season. If it's not today, Dillon will never play a game in his foot.
And here's the part nobody in Cleveland wants to say out loud, even though everyone is whispering it anyway. The longer they wait to make this switch, the worse the crash is going to be. Because if Dillon comes back after the bye week and delivers another episode of quarterbacking for people who don't like winning, the stadium won't just boo, it'll be a full, unified, citywide boo that shakes the seats. Not the scattered boo, not the polite, we're disappointed but staying calm boo, but the full power surround sound hometown heartbreak boo. The kind that rattles foundations and erases confidence in a single echo. And what happens after that? Stefanski walks into the press conference looking like he just read his own retirement announcement. The locker room pulls apart even more. Veterans start checking out mentally. Young players begin wondering who's actually leading the ship. And meanwhile, Shedeur is sitting on the sideline with sunglasses on, quiet, calm, relaxed, knowing exactly what's building behind him.
Right. He might just be fine. He might be a backup quarterback. He'll never look good.
Well, and nobody's expecting him. Like the expectations with Dillon Gabriel was never really franchise quarterback. But like, if you play poorly today against the Jets, you might effectively play your way into being off this roster in its entirety next year. Like, forget being Colt McCoy and a really smart kid that could be around the organization and that could be a backup for 10 years. Like, all that could go out the window. Like, if you can't look serviceable against this Jets team today.
He doesn't need to campaign. He doesn't need to beg. He doesn't need to nudge anyone. All he has to do is be there, and the pressure naturally shifts toward him like gravity. The fans feel it more than anyone. They know this is bigger than one game or one awkward press conference. This is about identity, direction, pride, and whether Cleveland is ready to stop pretending everything is okay when it clearly isn't. And deep down, everyone knows the truth. They know the answer might be standing right there, waiting for the moment the keys finally slide his way. Because eventually someone in that building is going to break, slam their hands on the table, and ask the question everyone's been scared to say out loud. Why are we wasting time? Why are we pretending? Why won't we just give Shedeur Sanders the ball? And once someone finally says it, there's no undoing it. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to hit that like button, drop a comment, and share this with another football fan who needs the truth. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel.